Kenny Stills is here from the Miami Dolphins. We just had a really interesting, deep conversation about your tour down throughout the Deep South. Now I want to hit on the top story in the NFL today, which is Darius Geis of LSU saying that he was asked questions that I think that are beyond the pale in the interview room, whether he liked men or whether his mom was from a profession of ill repute. I'm wondering what you think of that story, Kenny.
Yeah, honestly, I think that those questions are uncalled for. I see what you were talking about earlier. Just it's or the guy that called in basically saying that it's a way to see if you can get a rise out of somebody or get a reaction out of them. But it's unnecessary, and I dealt with similar questions when I was going through the process as well.
So you say that again. You had the same question.
Yeah. You
were asked that question.
Yeah, there was a picture of me in a dress from when I was in college that made some headlines, and I grew up with three sisters, so older sisters, so they put me in girls' clothing all the time. So I'm very comfortable putting on women's clothing. It's not like an issue to me. So I did it as a joke, and so when I get into the interview room, they ask me like, "Hey, what's this? Like, are we gonna have an issue with you in our locker room? Like, what does this mean? Why are you doing this?" And like I said, I think it's uncalled for, but also they think they want to see how guys are going to react.
Do you remember which team asked you that question?
No.
Were there multiple teams who asked you that question?
Yeah, multiple teams had the picture.
Had the photograph?
Yeah.
Well, obviously, they have everything on that's ever been said about you or ever been posted about you or anything like that. How did you react in the interview room?
I told them exactly what I told you. The girl that I was dating at the time we went to a wedding, and after I just was joking around and put it on, and she took a picture, and I don't think she realized like a lot of her friends from the opposite school were following her on Twitter and stuff. And so like a couple of days later, she must have put it on like as a joke, like laughing, and the kids from Oklahoma State picked it up. And so it became viral on the internet, and they were making posters of it, and like everyone had it in the stands, and they were using it to try and get me off my game. But for me, it was just a joke. Like I said, I've got older sisters. They dress me as a little girl all the time. So
let me ask you this, because 2013, when you were drafted, that was the year Michael Sam was at the Combine as well. So do you think that might have been on the brain of the talent evaluation community because of that? Or do you think that this is an issue with the NFL that they're constantly asking these questions potentially to prospects, Kenny?
A little bit of both. Like I said, I don't think your sexual orientation has anything to do with you as a player or whatever, but it's just one of those things that, in the interview process, the NFL asks a lot of questions, and they want to see how you're going to react or what your answer is. And so that's just one of the things that they kind of prepare us for in the pre-interview process.
What else were you asked? Anything outlandish? Anything crazy?
I had a DUI when I was a freshman, and so they asked about that.
That was the
stuff.
red flag that you had on your
So we talked about that, and that was really it. I feel like for the most part in college, I had a good time. I did my job. I played well, and they red flagged me for the dress picture and the DUI thing, and obviously I've done a good job of showing them that I don't have any issues.
Do you think a team that asked this of guys, or whichever team asked this of you, should be disciplined?
I don't know. That's hard to say. I really have to think about that a little bit more.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.